Hi everyone, Brenda Earl-Stokes, owner and creator of Piano and Voice with Brenda, and it's Monday again, which means it's time for another episode of Motivation Monday. And in this episode of Motivation Monday, in a few minutes from now, I'm going to announce the new course that is going to be launching very soon. So here's that announcement. I'm sure people have figured it out already. If you've been following me on Instagram and the like, I've been posting about my work on the course. So today I want to talk about the importance of musicianship, and I'm calling today's talk The Return to Musicianship. Now, I know that musicianship isn't always the sexiest topic, right? When we're talking about learning music or working on music, a lot of times it means like technical work, like how can I get my fingers to work faster, or how can I get my voice to sing higher, learning repertoire, composition. I feel like all of those things are sort of the easier sells. But musicianship is something that actually has really far-reaching foundational results, and that's what I wanted to talk about a little bit today. So when we're talking about musicianship, what are we talking about? We're talking about a deeper level of musicality that you have. Now, some people are born with this. They're just sort of innately rhythmic, or they have a really just natural sense of pitch. But for the rest of us, we may not have that. And so musicianship is really those foundational, fundamental skills that we have. And if you were fortunate enough to spend your childhood growing up singing in choirs, then you may already have a pretty strong sense of this, or if you played in a marching band or certain aspects of this. But I would say in general, musicianship is something that we need to spend more time on. So when I think about musicianship, I'm thinking usually about two main categories. And one of them is a sense of pitch, and the other one is a sense of rhythm. And a general musicality, I guess, would be the third category, which is understanding phrasing, being able to sing or play your music in a musical way, in a way that sounds singing or in a way that sounds particularly musical. But for the time being, I'm going to talk about the function of pitch and the function of rhythm. So when it comes to pitch, being able to have a strong control of pitch is an extremely important thing for a lot of reasons. When you think about trying to play things by ear, trying to pick melodies up quickly, trying to take what you have in your head or in your ear and being able to recreate it on your instrument or recreate it singing or write it down for composition, these are all the function of good understanding or concept of pitch. This would be pitch musicianship. And it's such an incredibly crucial thing to be able to have a mastery of. And it's something that I find in so many different people is lacking. And it's actually a lot of times someone will come to me saying, oh, I want to work on my songwriting skills. But as we work together, I realize that they have lots of great ideas for songwriting. It's that they don't have the musicianship to be able to quantify what they're doing. All right. The same with people who come for some voice lessons and they have a very difficult time remembering melodies, or they don't know how to sing harmony. Have pitch issues. All these kinds of things are all a result of not having spent time on musicianship. And a lot of times when we think about these elements, we are thinking about them in context to sort of music school or the choir or classical music. But what I would say more and more and more, that music theater singers who don't necessarily need to have sight singing skills, they're certainly not being auditioned in that. It's something that that is often missing and can be the thing that separates you from the person who gets the gig, the person who books the show, those musicianship skills. And the same with, instrumentalists who maybe have no issues pushing the buttons, but from a deeper level, if they were able to do some singing, it would really, really help on a more foundational way to help them to recreate pitch. All right. From the rhythmic side of things, it's the same thing. How well do you understand pitch, or how well do you understand rhythm? What does it mean to you? When you see quarter notes, does that have a feeling for you? Does that feel a certain way for you? And for a lot of people who have issues with keeping a steady tempo or have an issue with just making rhythms sound accurate, this is another way that you can work on. And that's something, again, deliberately from a musicianship point of view. Now, both of these topics can be addressed in a very general way, in a way that will not pull you in the classical direction if you're not interested in doing that. It's a way for you to really get that fundamental material behind you so that when you're going to perform, those things come together with your technique and with your creativity, and they really make a lasting impression. And so on that note, my obsession with musicianship expands, as many of you know, to solfege. Solfege is a way of putting syllables, of quantifying and qualifying music pitches. And there's so many different wonderful, amazing things that can go on in solfege. And solfege is a way, teaching solfege, learning solfege, singing solfege in major and minor and the chromatic scale. This is one of the, I would say, the best way for you to develop that pitch-centered musicianship. And as you know, I have 2 online courses called Crash Course in Solfege Major Edition and Minor Edition. So, drum roll please, the brand new course is called Crash Course in Solfege, the Bundle. And for this course, it's again, all of the musicianship stuff for pitch that I was talking about. And I decided that I was going to combine the major course and the minor course, all of the material from them. And I thought I could just put those together and sell them as a product, but then I kind of did my thing and started to think, well, what else could I add? So I have bundled with it a whole ton of additional material. So not only do you get the full and complete Crash Course in Solfege Major Edition, where I go into a deep dive in the major scale, all the solfege, the Kodai hand signs, I mean, it's the whole thing. And then also the Crash Course in Solfege Minor Edition, where I address the 3 most commonly used minor scales in Western music, the natural minor, harmonic minor, and melodic minor, also with patterns, with exercises, all kinds of stuff, Kodai hand signs, you name it, all the soup to nuts stuff that you need as a foundation. And then in the bundle, I put that material together. All of that is there, full and complete. And I've added an entire section on the chromatic scale, where I'm going to take you step by step through the entire chromatic scale so that you can really get it in your ear. That's all the half steps. So the major scale has 8 notes, the chromatic scale has 12. So it's a whole thing. It's really fabulous. And then I've also addressing the folks who maybe aren't singers who are taking this course. And I've put an entire section on how the voice works to help you to get an understanding of the instrument, and also 2 different separate 25-minute voice lessons. One of them sung by me in my mezzo-soprano voice. The other one sung by Dylan Pramick, who is a bass baritone singer. He's a terrific jazz singer and educator, so that you can hear what the sound of all of these exercises would sound like in those voices. So if you're a soprano or an alto, you can sing those with me, work on your voice that way. If you're a tenor or a baritone or bass, you could sing those along with Dylan. And it's a really great little unit to be able to practice, to be able to build your voice a little bit, to make it more easy and fun for you to sing through all of the material. The course also comes with 2 7-minute vocal warm-ups, so you can download those and you can vocalize before. And then the last thing that I think is like the crown jewel of the whole course is that I take you through very step-by-step how you can use the solfege. So the courses up to this point have taught you the solfege and have shown you all the different ways to practice it. And then in this course, I'm going to take you through a whole bunch of different activities and exercises so that you can use solfege in a lot of ways that maybe you hadn't considered it, including transposing, including transcribing, including playing chords by ear, you name it, a whole bunch of stuff like that. And then I take you through a deep dive into how to go about sight singing, so how to use solfege for that. So anyways, that's what I've been working on. I've spent like just a bazillion hours working on this. I'm really, really proud of how it came out. All of the exercises for the entire course is sung by my voice. And by either Nicholas Ulinchu, who's a bass baritone, or Dylan Pramick, as I said, sings the rest of the exercises so that you hear everything in a treble and a bass voice. There's a 53-page course book for this, that everything meticulously notated, practice tips, the whole wazoo. I mean, it's like a substantial book. And then I also created my own custom posters of all of the Kodai hand signs for all the scales. So major, the 3 minors and the chromatic scale, both ascending and descending. So I'm really excited to share this with you. I will be releasing the course in 2 weeks, but if you stay tuned on my Instagram and Facebook, you will be able to find out about pre-sales, which are starting soon. So anyways, that's my pitch for musicianship. It's an important thing, and thanks for watching.